What's up, everyone? Alex here from Computer Headquarters, and I've got a Mageblood wearing update for my Tri-Charge Stacking Slayer. He's starting to feel pretty good, and I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of what I did now that I'm wearing Mageblood, but not like I would say I'm nowhere close to being finished with the build. I'm kind of just getting started in a way. So, yeah, let's take a look here at the gear. We have the same gloves, boots, helm, shield, and amulet, but I did end up scoring this sword yesterday for a really good deal, and it has Crusader influence, 5% increased attack speed. Of course, that'd be nice if it was 7, but you can't always get what you want, especially for the right price. So, but it does have the enchant, it has fortify, it has the perfect 15% lightning damage part, and it doesn't have the best roll on the max energy shield, but that's fine because of the price I paid. I'm very, very happy. I don't think I'll ever be upgrading the sword probably for the whole league if I had to guess. I think I'd have to go back and look at my last video, but I do think I swapped this ring out either after. Yeah, I think I swapped it out once I got Mageblood on. I could be wrong though, but I'm getting this ring because it has physical damage reduction, and now that I have Mageblood, I really am focusing on being tanky as my primary thing. Even though my damage is way up too, I want to be very, very tanky. And then it's also had some attack speed, so even better. This ring should be worth quite a bit, but I think I got it for 60 divine. I got really lucky too because it looks like my old ring, that's unfortunately not sold yet, is worth about 300 divine. I actually had a guy, you guys, maybe someone here can relate to this, but I was playing like all day. It's Sunday, I had tons of free time today, and I was online. I barely got any trades for some reason. It was like barely anything. I get up and eat dinner tonight, and I come back like 20 minutes later. Some guy hits me up and wanted to buy that 300 divine ring. And like at that exact time, I think I had like 10 divine in my bank. I did end up getting a good sale on something else afterwards for 65 divine, different ring. But yeah, it was just like, come on, man. I tried messaging the guy, and he was offline. In any case, yeah, so the ring's great. Calandra's Touch is on now. I wasn't able to wear a Calandra's Touch before, so now I have an extra power charge from that, so that put me up to 11. And then my chest is still the same. I got Flask going with Curse Immunity, Regen, and I can switch that out for Reflect if I need it for the map. I've got Cannot Be Stunned, and I have Cannot Be Ignited, and the same tincture going. But on my tree here, I now have a Sublime Vision, which I got another thing I got pretty lucky on as I scored this for at the time. I don't know today, the prices are changing so quickly, but this is a 39%, almost perfect, and I got it for 72 div, and they were going for like 80 for a bad roll, so that was a good deal. And I think most of the other stuff should be the same. I can still get better cluster jewels. They're what they are. They're giving me a bunch of attack speed and some ES, but once I get more money, I'll be continuing to work on that. Oh, yeah, shout out to, I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head, but someone on my YouTube video who told me to check out Avatar of Fire Impossible Escape. Now that I am trying to be more tanky, it was a good idea. And so I'm taking +2 max all-res here. I'm also taking 1 fire and 1 cold because I'm also getting 1 lightning max res right there. So it's basically +3 between those two places. I'm also currently taking this int node because he had mentioned getting the journey tattoos where they stack for ES. So I have 1 point here that's going to go here as well, and then tattoo them. I don't know if I'm really going to end up doing that because eventually I really still want to go back to Imbalanced Guard, even though they're really expensive. I'd like to save up for that, get my all resistance here, get the rage, get the accuracy point. I think that overall it's a better choice. So I probably we'll see how it goes. But the journey tattoos are like 4 or 5 div. So I just don't know if I want to invest into it. He was saying you can get like 1500 ES off of doing that. I think he meant on your bar down here because it's definitely not 1500 flat. It's 640. It's, it's 40 times 4 times 4, which is 640. So that's still a ton of ES, but there's too much sacrifice. I went through this theory crafting with my buddy today on POB, and we both looked at it, and both of us came to the conclusion it's just not worth it. Getting to this point right here, hard knocks, and getting this point outside of a, you could still do it this way with the Avatar Fire, but there's that point, and then there is, let's see, I'm trying to remember all of them. There's one here, there's one here, so that's not too far away. So it's 1 point, 2 points. Those are pretty easy to get to, and I could maybe do those and keep this and tattoo all 3 of those. But then getting to this point is just, any way you look at it, it's a lot of points. So it's 9 points away, and shaving 9 points right now is not going to happen. It would basically be losing an entire cluster jewel. And when you look at how much power I get between attack speed and energy shield for these for these cluster jewels, it's just not going to compete. But it's a cool idea, and I appreciate the idea. Whoever said that, feel free to keep recommending things to me. I really like stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, I think I covered everything here in the tree. I've got a lot of things for sale that are worth a lot of money. They're just not selling. I've sold some things, but okay, merc time. Let's talk about the merc. So I end up getting this guy who is just a little bit of an upgraded Enduring Cry, because his Enduring Cry skill actually had some support gems on it. He's currently pretty much naked because I just found this guy instead, who I've been looking for, who has Wrath. He's not the one I want. I want to find one that has Zealotry and Wrath, and hopefully level 84. But he will do for now. And I moved most of my gear over from the Striker guy, and he's wearing Replica Victario's Charity, which is giving me endurance charges. And I don't know how well this is working, but I put allocates deflection on his Perquel's Toe, which says that on block, grant endurance charge. So basically, I'm hoping that he's building endurance charges, and then he'll share them with me because I have Supreme Grandstanding. So I'll just show you that one more time, because I know this is kind of like a weird thing, but Supreme Grandstanding on my Elegant Hubris is kind of a blessing in disguise. Not only is this possibly like the strongest thing in the game for this build, or for a lot of builds, but this is just something that people probably are sleeping on if they're trying to do this kind of build where you're trying to figure out how to get your endurance charges. But my belt, I scored this for a pretty good deal. I'd been looking for one with a decent percent at a good price, and this one popped up for 8 div, so I grabbed that. And then I'm using the same ring setup. But the nice thing now is I'm not using Purity of Elements anymore. So the negative res is actually coming through correctly. So I'm at negative 163 now instead of negative 126. It could be better, but this shield actually has lightning res on it. So I was literally hunting for one with the least amount of lightning resistance, and this was the best one that I could get just for testing purposes. There's some other tests I want to do with this guy still, but this was a good start. I was getting some endurance charges when I was mapping with it. And this isn't like the best guy, getting 84 would be even better. Now let's talk POB, because this is getting spicy. Okay. And I'm going to take this trade because I need money. So bear with me 1 second here, guys. 1 second. Which one div tab is it in? There it is. 27% Giant Slayer Helm. Okay, so POB. My damage is really good. I just did my first map with the merc, with the Wrath merc, and I was actually insanely impressed with how strong it was. I do want to take this off real quick before I continue talking about this, but my damage is really good. So it's showing 225 here, 225 million, and that is on Guardian Pinnacle. This needs to be adjusted, by 1. There we go. So 163 was correct, negative 163. I'm only getting 30 rage down instead of 40 because I'm not doing that same impossible escape as before. Okay, let's talk some crazy numbers. This 225 million is actually not real. It's wrong because it is not taking into account my Wrath. So it's a lot higher. Yeah, a lot higher. Okay, so apparently level 82 and 83 mercs that have Wrath are giving level 26 Wrath, which is insane. And if you get an 84 from a T17 Wrath, it's 27 or 28. It's even higher. So I did double check what the tooltip in POB, what the amount is. Let's just see what this trade is. Another one divine trade. I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking the trade. I'm taking the trade, okay? I'm sorry to interrupt or talk here, but I got to take the trade. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a streamer. I need the money. Must be over here. Yeah, okay. Some influenced base that someone wanted. Cool. I was gonna feed it to Rog for dust. I'm glad this guy's taking it. Okay, back to POB. Yeah, so this number right here, 23 to 375 lightning damage is what level 26 Wrath is giving us. But I have 18% increased Wrath effect on my merc. In fact, I just realized before I made this video, I think the shield, I forgot to check this. The shield is giving even more, isn't it? 10% increased effect of non-curse auras from your skills. Yeah, it's actually 28%. So it's more than, I'm not going to recalculate it. Let's just say it's more, okay? So this number right here, 27 to 442, that's what we're getting for Wrath. And I will take the slash off so you can see how big that is. 272. So it's giving me like 50 million damage. So I'm not going to lie. I feel really strong damage-wise. And I feel like I'm not trying super hard yet. The merc is just way overpowered for damage this league. Now, I do want to just also show you guys, let's just say that I fit in a Kingmaker. And you might be thinking like, well, how would you get that? Well, it would have to be on an animated Guardian, right? Animate Guardian. So let's just say I figured out a way to make that work, okay? Or also, I could use, I could switch back to a two-handed strength-based merc who's doing Enduring Cry, and he holds a two-hander, and he could be holding Kingmaker. So either way, that's very reasonable. Let's just say that too, okay? So, but then I wouldn't have Wrath. But let's just say I have an Animate Guardian plus 50 crit strike multi. That goes up to 300. But there's more because that also gives Culling Strike. I'd be at 335. I also could still get a couple more power charges. I can get up to 2 more. That would put me at 575. And if my Animate Guardian was wearing Crown of the Tyrant, I would be at 600. And this is with not like, there's so many things missing on my build. Tattoos, my chest could be way better. My gloves could be way better. There's a lot of things that could be, I'm probably forgetting even right now, that are just, they get expensive, right? But over down the road, as I keep working towards bigger pieces to the puzzle here, I've mentioned that the damage should easily go over 1 billion, and I wasn't joking because also if I get a better ring and I actually have negative 200 lightning resistance, you can see that went up to about 650. And if I put like Sigil of Power on, it would go up again, and you get the idea. There's a lot of things that can make the damage just keep going and going and going, and you know, better cluster jewels and couple more levels, things like that. So as you get the picture, I've seen the number go realistically, realistically, without cheesing anything, like being actual real gear that exists in the game. I've seen my POB on this build go to well over 1 billion damage. So I hope I can get there. And now I'm going to do an Uber Sirus for you guys. So someone had asked a question about maintaining endurance charges, and that's an excellent question because that is our biggest problem right now. And you know, so I mentioned already how I'm doing it with this guy, and I'm going to do this Uber Sirus, and you're going to see I probably don't have endurance charges a lot of the fight, which sucks. But when you're mapping, you will have them because he's going to get them. He's going to share them with you. So Enduring Cry is probably very helpful for doing Ubers, but you might also kill them so fast that it won't matter. So just also, Uber Sirus, I did you guys a little favor. I already did the RP part, so as soon as I run in here, I can walk right through. You don't have to listen to him yap for 5 minutes or whatever. All right, hopefully I don't die, because I can still die, of course. But he stays pretty tanky. I did one demo before I filmed this video because I want to make sure I didn't look like an idiot for you guys. So yeah, he was phased extremely quickly right there. All I pressed was my tincture. I didn't even do frost shield. I didn't even enduring cry him. I probably should enduring cry him. That'd be the smart thing to do. So I'll try it this time. I think I missed though. Where'd he go? I missed him. But yeah, he was hitting me. Didn't hurt me. I did tank a meteor earlier. Didn't die. It almost killed me though. I don't think my immortal call went off. Okay, so I did enduring cry that time. I don't know if I got him, but it says I have 4 endurance charges. Oh, here we go. Hopefully we can tank this. Yep. I'm playing terrible, but we're still winning. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I might die, actually. Oof, that was close. Trying to get a safe spot here. Kind of in the corner. Oh, here we go. Should be able to kill him right here. Race him for it, right? Here we go. Oh, it's close. Yep, he got me. I was standing on one of those like desecrated ground things. Nice thing is though, I don't have to worry about losing XP. Thank you, GGG. Anyway, should have beat him. Shouldn't have stood in that, but I thought I could race him. Thought I could race him to the end there. So let's go finish him off. If I don't die on the way in. Oh, you die. Ooh, Awakener's Orb. Streamer's luck. Even though I'm not a real streamer. Okay, let's grab this stuff because it's actually been selling lately. People are going crazy on influenced items this league. That's a good tip for you guys. Awakener's Orbs are going to probably go up a lot because as the league goes on, people are going to be chasing these, what are they called? Bound by Destiny stuff. I have some that I've been saving up here, like stuff like this, where if you wear a certain amount of influence gear, you know, you get something, right? So to get that thing like this is like very tricky, right? You have to like chance orbit and you have to like set it up the right way, and there's all this trickery and it gets expensive, but people are doing it. And so when they're doing an Awakener's Orb, they might just need a crap pair of gloves that they need as their base, and so they might buy it off of you. Okay, I'm blabbing. This is the end of the video. We're at, as you saw, a lot of damage. We're at like, I know I did a bunch more stuff, but we are like 275 million damage right now, and we're way tankier than we were before because we have all these, we have our resistances almost to 90. I guess I forgot to mention that too. To get our resistances up to 90, we need to do plus 2 max all res on our chest. And we can even get a little better roll there on the fizz, taking us chaos to mitigate more physical. But I will be continuing to experiment more with the merc stuff, like who's better. Is it better to get the wrath merc for the damage, but maybe I'm dying because maybe the endurance charges might not be sharing enough, or is it better to go with the striker and have him holding a two-hander with a kingmaker, and then he's doing enduring cry type of thing, and maybe that's better. So I will keep looking for a better striker. I'll be looking for a better one of these guys that has zealotry as well, and hopefully even in level 84. And I don't know when I'll find one. It might be a whole week, but I'll come back with more updates as they happen. But it's looking pretty good, guys. Looking pretty good.